What's up, YouTube? I'm back with some more gaming for my channel, and this time we're going to play some Resident Evil 4 Remake on the original PS4 console. Now, this is a game I'm very familiar with. I played this on the Xbox Series X when it first released, and I played it for about 2 or 3 weeks. Eventually, since I had the disc version of it, I would go into a certain part of the castle grounds, and the castle grounds that I was walking on would glitch out, and Leon would just be walking over thin air. So I took that game back to GameStop and traded it for instant credit. Now recently there was a Christmas deal for a $16 deal to get Resident Evil 4 on my PS4, so I got it, and we're here playing it again. And if you know anything about me, you know I'm a huge fan of the Resident Evil series. And there's some barbed wire right here, but we can actually go around this. Now we're going to break out into a sprint. Leon's basically looking for one of his allies. Looks like we got a dead cow or something over here. Rotting cow with a bunch of flies flying around. Now once we get through these woods, we're going to stumble across a cabin, which honestly, comparing this to the PlayStation 2 version of Resident Evil 4, the cabin that you first start out with, where the guy is in front of the fire pit using his fire poker to poke the fire, this cabin is very different, and you don't actually fight that guy until you get further down into the basement. But what I want to do is actually, if you go around the side of this building, there's nothing you can actually obtain. Open the door. Anybody home? I knew you'd say that. What's actually crazy about me remembering that he says that is I actually haven't played this version of Resident Evil 4 in probably the past 3 or 4 months. So for me to remember that was actually kind of funny and very ironic in a subtle way. We got this insignia, like a wooden cross insignia. It's basically like their cult sign, which is like let you know that they're part of a cult, and it's pretty much the only substantial thing in this room. This is not like a save point or anything, so we're going to come out here, turn, and then we can, since you're playing on PS4, you can actually hold the R1 button and you'll break out into a sprint. There's 2 doors you can go through right now, but you can't go through this one because you need a key, which is a big part of why you have to go into the basement. My PS4 is like roaring loud right now because I had to have it turned on for a while for the installation of this game. And I don't want to turn my PS4 off yet because I do actually want to get some decent gameplay in on this. This is where you encounter the dude that would have been in the original PS4 by the fire pit. I'm about to bust a cap in this dude. Leon just found out that the guy just basically murdered his friend. Beautiful roundhouse kick to the face there. Anybody in the comment section, if you're hyped for Resident Evil Requiem, please drop a comment and let me know what your expectations are for the game. Personally, I have very high expectations for it. Just sucks that we have to wait so long for Resident Evil Requiem to come out, along with Yakuza 3, Kiwami, but we'll get there. Yeah, it looks like he was trying to cook something in the fire pit, but it looks like a bunch of fucking boogers and shit. Like he took a dump in a pot and started roasting it over an open fire. He was flicking his boogers inside of it or something. But we are still looking for that key. So we know that there's nothing in that pot. This looks like a dead rabbit from what I can see. Maybe he was actually trying to cook some rabbits. We got the idea of the dead cop. You can flip it over to the backside, but there's really nothing there. Officer Mario Fernandez, Castano, police officer of the NPC. And nothing interesting there. We still need the key though. It's not on the dead guy, we know that. But what we don't know is that there's actually more to this house if you come back out of the door that you first entered to get in here. Now sometimes it might take a minute to actually remember where the key is. And try to go back out the front, but for some reason the front door is locked. Which is weird because when we first walked in, you just walked in and it was unlocked. Right? So somebody had to have locked it from the outside. I can see through this wall here, which leads into that room where the guy was that we had to kill. Crude charm, judgment is nigh. Now from what I can actually remember, the key is supposed to be just like hanging up somewhere. But the thing about this is there's no like direct hint to the answer, right? So remember when we killed the guy at the fire pit, you instantly got the key that you needed. That's the reason that he doesn't have it on his dead body. And now we activate our flashlight automatically, so you don't have to press anything for that to happen, it just happens. Come down the stairs. We're gonna go in free A mode and see, make sure there's nobody trying to pop out of the corner on us, surprise attack us. Seems like we're alright. Got a curtain here, we're gonna move it to the side, inspect this room. Now at this point Leon does find the dead body of Mario, the deceased police officer, but then so while this guy's already dead, the other police officer's having his own share of an ultimate demise, basically. Now we are still downstairs, keep that in mind. Not really much else after finding that dead body, but there's going to be some enemies that are going to surprise you here in just a second. Shoot him in the knees if you can. You might get a prompt to actually knife attack him if he gets too close to you. Just aim as best as you can. He's currently dead. We're not going to run up the stairs because we don't want it to startle any other enemy that might be up there. You can see there's one right there. But he's just going to keep walking that way because he's a dumbass. And while he's doing that, we're going to slip out the front door. Or not necessarily the front door, but the door that he just walked through. And come up these stairs. Alright, so we've got the door here. It's not the front door, but we have a barricaded room that we're in right now. I'll keep us safe momentarily. And this is basically where Leon finds the plot to keep Ashley Graham, the president's daughter, held captive. Now I am playing this on a newer flat screen TV that has HDR capabilities, so even for the original PS4 it will look more crisp, especially depending on the brightness settings. But if you're just playing a game on a regular flat screen TV, it might not look as crisp. Now believe it or not, they will still follow after you. These guys are pretty relentless. If you remember in the original Resident Evil 4, as soon as you dive out that window, there's usually about 2 or 3 guys waiting to come at you with one of their axes. But not in this one. So we're gonna come run over the bridge. It looks like we got a blood trail here. And if you made the assumption earlier when they captured the second police officer that wasn't Officer Mario, it seems like they must have knocked him out and maybe stabbed him or something, which is why he's bleeding out. But that's part of the investigation. That's what we're going to figure out. I shoot through this barrel. You can also knife, which is pretty simple. Just L1 and then R2. You got your forward stab motion. You can do L2 and R2, which is aim, shoot. Or you can just shoot through the barrel, but it's better to conserve your handgun ammo. I'm going to go ahead and reload real quick, even though I only really used a bullet. And then we're going to knife attack this. Got some gunpowder here. That'll be useful later. It's not really as useful right now, but I can show you in the inventory. You probably can't see as well because of the way that the glare off my TV reflects, but the gunpowder, you can use it once you get more of the gunpowder and a couple of other things so you can craft extra ammo for your guns, which we do not have enough of right now. So we're gonna go ahead and save our game. Get that out of the way real quick. Alright. I think we can go through this door, but I'm not 100% sure. I want to say that there's a jewel somewhere around here, but no, I'm thinking of the original. We got some crows over here circulating a dead wolf's body. As you can see, now there's 2 paths you can go. You can go to the right, or you can come this way through this little cabin. I recommend going to the cabin first because I think there's handgun ammo. Yeah. See, I was trying to remember because it's, like I said, it's been about 3 or 4 months since I played this. But there's a couple things I did remember about my first playthrough of this. Crouch and go into the tree. At this point, you should be around this vehicle right here. I'll just run past it. Go for the kneecaps. And then run in, and then run up to him really quick, and then press the X button, and you can melee attack him. I'll get some money. He's dead. There's no other enemies around, so just keep running. Wait, there is one more. He's dead though. Got about 3 shots in on him. Apparently I didn't kill him. He's dead now. Let's reload. Should be conservative with our ammo. Ah, bear traps. Lovely. Okay, there should be a guy in here, I think. Yep. I make sure we get enough shots in. Because as you can see with the guy that I killed before, this guy right here, I got 3 shots on him in the torso, and I had to run up even after that and stab him. Flash grenade. I don't have to worry about using those right away. They work very well for the chainsaw guys though. Okay. Here is where Leon encounters the first part of the village, where the first chainsaw man will be at. You can use your binoculars, but we're actually not going to do that. We're going to come around this way. We got a green herb here. We got a house over here, so we're going to run over here real quick. Just get in the door. We need a key for that. What? Fly through the window. I hope she didn't hear that. Yeah, she heard that. I didn't think she was going to hear me diving through the window, but for obvious reasons she did. You gotta try to create some distance here between them. Got this guy coming out of here. We're gonna go around. You all remember this iconic scene when you run through here, what happens, right? The reason I say it's such an iconic scene is because it's where the chainsaw man comes out. Now we gotta hurry up and come over here. Underneath the stairs. Smash these. Grab the hand grenade. We got some more handgun ammo, and we gotta quickly run up the stairs because he's already sawing through the door. Gotta grab the shotgun off the wall. Smash the glass with the X button. Grab the grenade. We're being grabbed. We're gonna knife attack him in the neck. We're gonna dive through this window here. This will create a space gap so that the chainsaw man has to actually climb out the window. Shoot any of the zombies that try to come up in the meantime. Shit, I'm getting attacked from behind. I'm actually gonna jump off this roof. And then go ahead and reload if you need to. Just make sure you keep enough distance between you and the chainsaw man. do your best to kind of try to drive them off. And I'm up here, so I'm actually going to knock the ladder down so they can't get up. Go ahead and reload. You can also reload in the middle of a sprint. Bust off a couple more shells, slow them down. At this point, the Chainsaw Man's getting pretty pissed off. Damn it. I'm trying to aim for the Chainsaw Man, but there's a lot of zombies that are trying to block my shot. Just do your best. Whatever you do, do not let the chainsaw guy catch up to you, because once he's in close proximity, there's pretty much a, I want to say like a 7 out of 10 chance that he might kill you. What helps me is climbing up the ladders to get to the roof, and then climbing back down, or jumping back off the roofs, and then busting a couple shots off at zombies, and then going back to maintaining your distance. And now, they're pretty much, they will not attack you at this point, because they're being summoned. It's pretty crazy as far as like for an intro to a game, that they like have you run around that much. It might even be confusing to like newer gamers who like never experienced Resident Evil 4. But do not give up early on in the game just because of that part, because once you make it past that part, you can pretty much make it past any part of this game. It's all about tuning up your weapons, making sure you're tuning up the right weapons, and conserving your health items. And making sure that you reload frequently enough to where it makes a difference. I will say that for a Resident Evil game, this is definitely one of the most subtly well put together introductions to a zombie based game like this. And the creators definitely did something right with it. But I think I'm actually going to cut this video off here, just because I wanted to get into this video, because I never actually did a video for the Resident Evil 4 remake. But if you guys want a part 2, drop some likes, maybe throw some comments down there and say if you want some more, just let me know. I got y'all.